Hello everyone, my name is Tayari Hill and today I'll be talking about something that affects us all every single day, emotions, specifically how we manage them. I chose this topic from chapter 5 because emotions can either help or totally wreck our relationships if we don't know how to understand how to control them. For a long time I thought emotions were just reactions. You get mad, you yell, you sad, you cry, that's it. But this chapter taught me that emotions are way more complex and that we actually have a lot more control than we think. Concepts like reappraisal, understanding the differences between facilitative and differential emotions, and identifying emotional facilitators and change how we respond to conflict and stress in our own life. Now, one of the key researchers that behind this is Albert Ellis, the psychologist who developed the rational emotional behavior therapy, REBT. He believed that these events themselves that upset us, but our beliefs about those events are the main problem. The idea that gave concepts like reappraisal and emotional facilitators, these theories were later adopted into the communication studies, how we understand emotions and affect our interpersonal relationships. So let's start with reappraisal. This is a super powerful tool. It's the ability to rethink the meaning of a situation in a way that changes how you feel. It's like hitting the mental reset button. For example, say your boss gives you blunt feedback on the prompt. At first, your brain is like, scream, I'm not good enough, or they hate my work. That's the emotional reaction. But with reappraisal, you sit back and ask, okay, how can they try to help me grow? Was their tone really that harsh, or am I doing too much, or am I nationalizing it personal, making it feel too personal? By reframing the moment, you will calm the emotional storm and respond from a healthier and more confident place. Now let's talk about facilitative and differential emotions. This was eye-opening for me because I used to think all emotions, negative emotions, were bad. But that's not true. Facilitative emotions are actually useful. They support effective functioning, like nervousness before speech. They can sharpen the tools for a little anger during the disagreement. That can really push you to speak up and defend your needs. Facilitative emotions, on the other hand, are emotions go too far. That's when nervousness turns into full-blown anxiety and makes you freeze during the presentation, or when anger becomes rage and now you're yelling at things you can't take back. And that's bad. We don't want that. The key difference is the intensity and duration. Facilitative emotions are temporarily and manageable. Derivative ones are overwhelming and get away communication. Thus, we have emotional facilitators. And when things get sneaky, there are irrational beliefs that shape the way how we feel and act. A few examples. Facilitative approval. Believing you need everyone's approval to feel good about yourself. Facility of consultation. Thinking people are direct cause of your emotions, like you made me just feel embarrassed. Facility of catastrophic expectations. Always expecting the worst case scenario. If I speak, okay, I'll get fired. We all fall into these sometimes without realizing it, but learning how to recognize them so we can take back control. We start reading emotionally to false beliefs and start responding based on truth. And that's what it's about. We don't have to have the emotion be at the mercy of our emotions. With practice, we can step in, interrupt the cycle, and make more thoughtful, balanced choices in how we communicate with each other. So, last month it was my birthday, and I had a situation with my girlfriend Destiny. Both of our birthdays are 3 days apart, May 16th and May 19th. We planned this little weekend at the hotel where I planned it to surprise her. I got her a bunch of gifts and stuff to show her I was appreciated. But when we got to the hotel, she didn't want to do none of the activities I planned. So I felt really hurt by it at first, and I did want to get mad, but I didn't want to lash out on her. And I was just thinking, why do I even bother? Like, I do all this stuff for you, and you can barely say thankful. Like, I didn't feel appreciated. I didn't get no gift from you, and I put all this work in. But I took a moment that I picked from this class and about reappraisal, reminded myself that not feeling the trip didn't mean she didn't care. Maybe she was tired, overwhelmed, or needed a slower weekend. And we actually talked about it. It turns out She was just very insecure about going out, and she felt like she needed to stay inside. So this stopped the argument and actually made everything stronger. And I was falling into the facilitation and consultation, believing that she made me feel disappointed, when in reality it was my interpretation that made this emotion. That was on me. So my recommendation for you is to start noticing your own emotional triggers and question them. Are your thoughts based on facts or falsicities? And ask yourself, is the emotion really helping me or holding me back? We can't control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we interpret it, and that changes everything. Emotions aren't just feelings, they're tools, and when we use them well, we become better partners, friends, students, better people overall. Thanks for listening. I hope you carry this into your own